stalled long enough. Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is time once again for us to return to Change Stars. I hope you had a wonderful holiday, no matter whichever holiday it is that you celebrate during this time of year. But I know Shay and I had a very busy week, and it is good to be back here behind the tabletop screen. I don't have any real announcements to make, so I am going to just go ahead and bring us in so that we can see everybody else and get this game underway.
It is literally just like I got a 6x4 swatch of green fabric
Ooh, green fabric.
and just hang it up behind, ta-da, Carnation Instant bargain bin green screen.
Woo! I have one of the ones you slap onto the chair, and it's such a wonderful hassle to have.
I'm 6'2", so those don't really work for me.
Oh, I've been there. Not that tall, but apparently I've shrunk. So
I'm big.
yeah, being 6 foot for many a year, and then being told you're 5'11" at the last doctor checkup, I was like, hey, that's great, but check it again because it seems off.
So that can indicate a couple things. One of them could be that you've got vertebra out.
Well, I hear it's a very common thing with the HRT as well, so I was just like, oh, that probably checks out.
That is one of the things that I would have thought wouldn't change, but I didn't. That's weird. Okay.
I heard it's a thing, and I'm like, I'm willing to accept that being the reason that I lost some height. But I mean, when you're standing at the doctor's, you tend to stand up straight for them. So hopefully there wasn't a vertebra out, or they should have brought it to my attention.
That's the kind of thing that it's like. It's usually relatively minor. And it's the kind of thing that you tend to see a chiropractor about rather than your GP.
That's fair.
Conveniently, my mother's a chiropractor and quite good at it, so I get free chiropractic.
Yeah, but does your mother know the incredible party trick that all chiropractors should know if there's a pet nearby?
I have no idea, but probably not.
So definitely tell your mom to use this at the next party if they happen to see like a small dog or a cat, but have them, talk about being a chiropractor and say that they've started working on pets as well. And all she has to do is tuck an empty water bottle under her arm before she picks the cat up or dog, and then just pretend to realign their spine and crunch down on the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
And just freak everybody out.
So she would consider it to be, while amusing, not in line with her professional ethics. Because
But it would be funny as hell.
Chiropractic has enough struggle with its reputation as is.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which is why it would be funny more than serious.
Oh yeah, no, there's and there's already a lot of there is so much pseudoscience that's been attached to it that if you're gonna be a legit chiropractor, you have to be 100% legit.
Mama don't play no mess.
Yeah, and it's a lot of the focus is relieving pain and posture, and then the fact that she combines in physical therapy and with your bone needs to go back here. So it's like, okay, so the reason that your back keeps getting out in this way is because your posture at your computer is bad. So this is what you need to do to fix that. I try.
I had that transfer mode.
How is everybody doing?
Things have improved for me. I'm significantly less sick than I was.
Good to hear.
I am tired, but I'm good.
Checks out.
And well as well.
Cool. Well, I think that is enough for us to get started on our character introductions. So, while I'm talking, I will just go ahead and say hello, everybody, to all the new people here that are lurking or watching in the chat. Hello, you are wonderful. We love you. And I will be playing Chief Scientist and apparently diplomat Rendis LaRusio. And I'm going to popcorn to Dukler.
Hi, everybody. I am Duke93, and I am playing the pilot buyer Thule, who is a thread. And totally does not do anything illegal whatsoever. Talk to her lawyer. I'm about to go over to Captain Carrion.
Hi, I'm John, also known as Captain Carrion. Today I will be playing Douglas Dog Crowley, our marine security specialist in Jarhead. As you may have noticed from all the things he does one thing. He does it very well. Alrighty, and so on to our lovely our lovely Dreamweaver.
Oh, that's me. Hello, everybody. I am Shay, or Shay the Fae here on Twitch, member of Party Wipe Games, and I am the storyteller, Dreamweaver, Dungeon Mistress, whatever you want to call me. I'm here to play everybody else and make tell the story of these three. In this homebrew of Change Stars, in which the science team has come to a discovered stellar system which has not only a habitable world, but a primitive sapient species on it, one which they have been flirting relations with. On that note, please, everybody, tell me what's some stuff you remember from last time, because it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, sorry, I got sick.
What happened?
Let's see. I remember we made exchanges with the pirates, upgraded gear from our own stores.
We had gone down to the village finally to meet some folks too.
Brindis interviewed everyone about their interactions with the Magpie?
The Mogwais?
Yeah. Not that. The planet people. The landing zone has been upgraded with prefab buildings. Things. And we got... Yeah, dogs, we had weapons. So we traded supplies.
I just love that the way it's worded in your notes is dog got his boom rocks.
It's not wrong.
And it's what they're gonna be called.
Yeah. I mean, ironically, the grenades are probably closer in concept to things that the locals will understand than the boom stick. But yeah. because, well, they've probably experienced a some variety of mill explosion at some point, because you get flour or fine wood fiber or fine sawdust in the air with a source of ignition, and boom.
Yeah.
Trees explode when they're flash frozen.
Have they? The question is, have they ever experienced a flash frozen tree?
Probably not, considering they like to live with water. At least
Yeah.
this tribe does.
Oh, oh, oh.
I think that's it, hun. Take it away.
All right. So yes, you all had some dealings with the pirates, some encounters with the Empire, and were on your way to meet with. Sorry, to meet with the one of the locals, one of the Miq'to locals who wanted to introduce you to their queen. Hadn't really had a time to speak on why, since you all had left so quickly, but had promised to be back shortly. And granted, it's only been like a day or two. But on that note, the camera will fall back in. We see the vehicle you've been given to more easily traverse this world that seems to have a fair amount of flooding due to having 3 moons pulling at its tidal forces and causing a fair amount of storm weather. That being said, as it zooms in, we see you all pulling back into the village that you had, the one that you had found and designated to introduce yourselves with. As you approach, you do hear the telltale drumming of "They see you" on the horizon coming, and there are, of course, a number of their warriors are out. The waters have receded enough to walk around, though not as much as it had been before. And as soon as they realize that they are not in any danger, you do notice that there are a number of them swimming through the flooded rivers, picking off any kind of aquatic life that they might be able to catch. Now that the waters are have risen a little bit. You also are, as soon as you enter, some of the warriors do escort you back to the one who had been speaking with you before. The older woman, or the older apparent eldest of this village. Does anybody remember her name?
Nope.
Nope. Not in any way, shape, or form.
Not this far into it.
I just have
Uh,
matron.
yeah, she is she is serious. Uh,
The fact that I would really struggle to say it is probably a large part of why I struggled to remember it, most likely.
but she approaches, and her one of her daughters, at least, the one you had saved previously, is there as well. Um, but she approaches and says, "You return. Your people have begun settling nearby."
This is not a problem. Them taking some space for themselves, not encroaching on any claims or space your people have.
They have not caused any trouble. They bring medicines saying that they will help us. A few here have gone to see. Many are very hesitant.
Ah, good. You'll. I trust you will let us know if they cause any more or cause any problems for you.
You, Larusha, uh, helped us before. Mm, my daughter thinks you can help again.
That is why we are here. I am hoping our relationship can continue to be beneficial for one another.
And you see, uh, you see her gesture to her daughter, who steps forward. Her sails are still torn, from her recent encounter with others of her kind, or her species anyway. And she says, "You have things that have made seasoned warriors fall very fast. Would you speak to our queen? Maybe something that can help us protect ourselves from them."
Rendis is just gonna look at BR and Doug again. They've heard this request before, and it seems that our stance will continue to not change. And she says, "We can speak with her, but we are not authorized to provide you with any of the weaponry that we bring here for our protection. We can provide training for your people with the skills that my warriors have. I don't know why I'm claiming them, but that our warriors have in hand-to-hand and close quarter combat. But the weapons will remain off limits, unfortunately."
And she takes a moment to consider these words, and it's a little bit of a translation because they're using their bioluminescence to communicate. But she says, Can you teach us to make better weapons?
I believe that can be arranged. And she kind of looks to Doug and is like, one of those looks like giving people with copper weapons steel wouldn't be a problem, right?
No, bringing them from the iron. You'd have to get somebody who actually knows how to instruct, but I'm pretty sure that it would be permissible to teach them things from skirmishing tactics, pre-modern weaponry. Although I would, I need to consult with the regulations, and you would need somebody who actually can train them in the creation of these things. The most I can do on that front is maintain what I already know.
Raiders come with more numbers and many weapons. They want to take what is ours. This village is still here because you were here. If our queen sees that, then maybe you can deal with her.
She kind of smirks at Doug and is just like, think you can handle a queen?
Dog, you look over behind the. You catch sight behind the two who are speaking to you, and you see the same warrior who had fought beside you. Her name was Miyoshi.
Which I remembered because I can say it. At least
so Miyoshi isn't too hard to say.
Yeah, Miyoshi does not require that I go that I make motions that hurt in my throat. So yes, Miyoshi. Yeah, the dog just gives the look back at Rindis and just. He just gives her a look. It's like, I'm gonna be honest, I've never been around high society in any culture. The closest you come is senior officers, and even then I was mostly just in the room.
At the very least, they might be able to find a use for your talents. And she kind of like looks to Miyoshi as well and is just like, hey, you survived one.
Fair.
You see her. You see her sails. You see Miyoshi's sails as she's just kind of standing back, watching guard, kind of flicker a bright red as she taps it on the ground, and is probably their equivalent of a wink.
Okay.
Yeah, see, she even knows we're talking about her. Well, if nothing else, I am prepared to depart whenever you all are.
Okay. Nods. He's ready to go. Travel. When something he understands better.
It is a long journey, but I will guide you, and we have pieces to make that faster. And you have. She kind of like tilts her head at the vehicle you arrived in.
So, is it sort of like an airboat type of thing that can go sort of overland on water?
It will make the journey easier.
Okay. How does it work?
That's your forte, Yar.
Okay, Doogley doesn't know how it works. Buyer sure as fuck knows how it works. And they're gonna start to go off on how it works.
The Shivat clan is their tribe. It has vessels that go over water and land, but they do not move as fast as yours does.
Oh, that's because their propulsion probably works a wee bit differently. Because it has... She pauses for a moment, like... That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent. Equivalent. Starts going in.
Just gonna go for it.
Yeah, so...
Go ahead and just give me a systems roll. See how well you.
Systems... Go!
Hey, not
Phew.
bad. So you're able to you start like discussing this, and as you are, they're probably moving through. They collect a pack of their things, seemingly expecting a long journey. They don't know that they don't know how much it's going to be cut. Just by having the kind of vehicles that you do. But as you're explaining this, you basically say you more or less harness the power of light.
Yeah, and Buyer is like, just grabs on the arm and just starts pulling her around the thing just to point out different things. Like, this thing allows us to convert this type of energy into this type of energy, and then we can use this one to allow us to go overland without actually wrecking the place. We just have to avoid the big things because we, can't go still straight up like a shuttle.
Why is there so much metal?
Oh, the metal reinforces the frame, which allows us to house the major engine component, and
But
just
it doesn't
pulls her-
float.
Oh, it does. You're going to see this. It's amazing. And yet, if there is a section of water which is wide enough open, I'll even let you try. I'll even show you how to drive a little.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Oh man.
it cannot go wrong whatsoever.
No way that.
Give me a moment. I'm gonna check her stats.
Oh, fine.
Uh-huh.
She has stats. That means she can
Just
die.
the mild terror over here.
So, is there a way I can set it so it can't go above 20?
Sorry.
So is there a way I can set the speed when I show her how to do things so it can't go above 20?
It's. I mean, to be fair, 20 miles an hour is probably still faster than they're used to going most of the time, except for on mounts.
It's probably
True.
true.
But it will hurt less hit the water at.
And oh man.
Okay. So, you all load up in your vehicle. It looks like she was about to take a piece, but that vehicle is actually large enough to carry, I think, 12 people, if I remember correctly.
We just need direction. Somebody to give us directions.
Yeah, and she's going to go ahead and give you directions as you all are leaving. Her mother is out there watching, and as you all leave, Miyoshi has to stay behind and guard the village. But you currently have a guide with you, and as you allow Cerlios to attempt to drive this thing, she has no operation.
Uh-oh.
This is how we die.
Okay.
Oh man.
So it starts and stops a little bit. It takes some getting used to, but while she may not particularly be a warrior like Miyoshi, she seems to be fairly interested in how strange things work. But she actually does handle it fairly decently for the first time ever handling it. And while not perfect by any means, she doesn't crash.
Does Bayer need to turn around and pick anyone up?
Did Bayer have autopilot on the whole time?
Go ahead. Everyone give me an endurance.
Okay. That's things dogs pretty good at. So
Surprisingly, Brindis isn't terrible at endurance. For raisins.
All right. Nobody stumbles or falls.
this isn't even the roughest ride dogs had in a vehicle.
This isn't
It's
even the
one.
roughest ride any of us have had.
Yeah. No, he's not been shot down.
It is very obvious that they've never handled anything like this before, but they don't crash.
Yeah.
It is hard to keep it on course, but they don't crash.
Good for them. They're trying.
Yeah.
They don't crash, and no crash, no splat.
And given time and training, they could probably handle something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Bayer is ecstatic. Like, doing so good. Slow to the left. Perfect. You're doing good.
Doing good. No one's dead.
But you all begin to move. Let's see. I would like one person to roll me a d6.
All right. 1d6. There we go.
Okay.
Let's hope that high is good.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a 6. Oh boy.
Ooh, continental map.
All right, so you all are like somewhere around here. I'll let it come out.
Okay.
You all are somewhere around here. Yeah. And as you all are sitting there, she explains that there is a series of mountains that are like teeth that jut out of the ground, very steep. But they are just kind of in the middle of the plains, with very heavily forested area behind it. Essentially, you are heading towards this area.
I'm sure that's not too far at all.
Not on this vehicle. As opposed to taking a couple weeks, it'll probably take a day, maybe two, if you wanted to be relaxing.
Well, there's plenty of
You're going several times faster than the beasts that run along it. But as you're all traveling, there is a moment where Celios settles down and glances to you all again and says, "It has been happening for a few seasons now. This tribe came across the sea and began fighting their way up through territory that belongs to Tassor.
If these are invaders, why does the queen allow this to happen?
She does not. Our village is small. She continues to, and you would have noticed her glancing outward, watching the area. I am hoping now that they have begun showing signs of groups of them starting to get close to our village, maybe she will send more warriors to defend it. Most of them are fighting further south of here.
So it is merely a problem of her being stretched too thin.
Yes, we've not had to fight since our queen's grandmother. Not like this. Small fighting for the right to males or land, but
skirmishes
not
opposed to warfare. Yes.
Yes. There are also other rumors, but of monsters coming from the thicker forests, but we are so far from it. It was never really. We never thought of it, but she might be distracted with other things too.
What kind of monsters?
The demons, the spirit eaters.
Oh, joys.
Mind eaters. Do you have mind eaters where you're from?
No.
You will have to describe them a little more, and I might be able to tell you. If not, I could certainly observe one in the wild and catalog it for posterity.
They are. They are mostly stories, but they are said to said to um, said to consume the spirit and take control of your body. You are not your own, and they grow inside you and use your body as soil until you die.
Mm.
How
And then it
trashy.
grows out of you.
That is in line with some. And he is saying this specifically without his translator on. That is in line with rumors that I heard in the Marines.
Oh,
But
is this something we should be worried about?
I can't tell you for sure whether I can't tell you for sure whether or not those were true. My engagements were all against terrorists.
Well, we should be alert then, if such hostile creatures could be found here on this planet.
It is rare if ever to see one. Even rarer for a Miq'to to be caught by one. But they say it eats the mind and uses you to think until you die. But those are stories.
Hopefully, but all stories have some truth tied to them.
As the vehicle continues and it starts to get a little darker, there's a moment where you all start seeing flickering lights coming up along the river nearby, and it seems it's very. They're very brief flickers, but they're prominent. And Cyrilios kind of leans over to one side, taking a look at them. Shimmer Wallace.
Shimmer balls?
Shimmer balls.
Shimmer.
I used to play with them when I was younger.
So they glow? Like, what do you look like up close?
Like shimmering balls. Or bubbles.
So it's
Bubble
like a
glows.
bubble? Oh.
She'll point, and if you were so inclined, you could steer a little closer.
Fire is going to steer a little closer.
What's the worst that could happen? They're just bubbles.
Hmm.
Closer.
Hopefully they're not filled with methane or something. That could be bad.
So as you get closer, you all hear like a soft humming as well, and these lights kind of move in like a very flickering rainbow pattern. It's very beautiful, and there are indeed things that look like bubbles that are floating around, with a very soft glow coming from inside them. They look like... Can you all see that?
Nope.
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 Okay, hang on. Now can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
But there's a very soft, like high pitched as they glow, and these things they're ranging in various sizes. But as you get closer, they kind of just like drift up from the water, float around for a little bit before falling to the ground again.
They're not dangerous to touch, are they?
No, they are actually fun to pop.
Fire was already reaching over.
You reach over, and as one kind of drifts closer, it's about as big as you are. Could probably encompass you a little bit, and you touch it, and your hand kind of folds to it a little bit, as it kind of folds around. Getting a closer look, you notice that there are like tiny little bits of stuff kind of floating on the inside.
Oh.
Doc. Dog just kind of points at the thing. I believe that's your department.
Yeah, it kind of like just kind of smushes around the edges and stuff of your hand, and then the vehicle, and like floats down a little bit before humming up again and flickering and starting to float down again.
How
There's a-
fascinating.
Yeah.
She is recording this interaction.
Go ahead and give me a... I guess it would be a medicine.
Medicine.
Or a screw.
Medicine.
I guess insight works too. Okay, so as you start looking at this thing, and how it is behaving, it starts to remind you of something that actually does occur back on Earth. This is, or what you're thinking of is, or what you're reminded of is a single cellular organism that replicates by things tearing it apart, or if nothing tears it apart and it gets big enough, then it'll divide by stretching itself until it rips. This is a macroorganism.
I have read about these. Apparently, Earth has these same creatures.
Not on this scale, but
No. We are. I do not think popping it will cause it any harm. It actually will help it reproduce.
Oh, Barry had their head inside another one. Okay, it's. Start waving her hand inside of it. See if it pops.
give me a melee.
She's already elbow deep in this creature.
You try making it pop and it just kind of like rolls around. It's a little trickier than normal.
I don't think I'm gonna make this one pop.
You've got to learn how to work the wrist. That's how you make them pop.
Sorry, I explained about how I worked my wrist before.
Not apologizing for that. Nope.
Yeah, Barry has horns. They'll headbutt it.
Irelios, however, is having the time of her life. As a couple fly over, she kind of like climbs on the edge of the vessel and swings at one, and it's quick enough that it does indeed pop, and a spattering of smaller versions of it flicker across and kind of disappear as they fall into the water below. She does it again a couple times as the larger ones pass over.
Very
And I
interesting.
believe Earth does actually have macroorganisms where you can see them with the naked eye, but they're
Yeah.
very. They're not on the scale that these are.
But I mean, they're not on the scale that these are, but there are ones that are like a good. They get pretty freaking big.
Yeah, in reality, there are some on Earth that do get that size.
They're like they get a good 10, 20 centimeters across. Sorry, I may have a thing for microbiology. I follow into the microcosmos religiously.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a macroorganism, some sort of amoeboid.
Amoeboid.
So, as you're describing it, all I can think of was the glowing algae in Jamaica. I'll share a picture.
And Rindis, for you, you probably get that once they're large enough and they probably attract things to come and pop them by doing this.
You gotta make it worthwhile.
Yeah, no, checks out.
This is just a neat little critter you all see.
Very happy we saw this.
You have left a critter that of course the party is going to engage with because it is cool. Is it dangerous? No. Is it something immediately useful? No. But is it incredibly fun? Yes.
Yes.
Is it cute and adoptable?
You see, the thing that concerns me is if we remove a single-celled organism that reproduces by splitting from an environment with its natural predators, we might have a tribble situation on our hands.
I was gonna say
Yes.
these are just tribbles. It's fine.
You see, if you introduced it into, say, another natural environment with natural predators, this thing would probably get eaten pretty readily by other stuff too. But the problem is, if you brought it on a ship without predators, I hate to think what these things would do once they got into the ventilations, got chopped up by a fan, and then wound up just growing to completely fill vents all over a ship.
Well, then everybody is happy that Dr. Indus did sneak Obsticorus on board.
Mm-hmm. That is something Dog is going to be very careful about making sure it does not happen. As soon as he finds out that they've reproduced by going splat, he's like, nope, not allowed to get on the ship. I have a feeling there's going to be just a contest in some kind of sneakiness versus Dog's relatively piddly scrutiny.
Oh, I do actually have a question.
Yeah.
Does Rindis and Dog want the trip to take 2 days or 1 day? Because Spire's down for 2 days, just so we can learn the way better.
Dog genuinely does not care. He's on the clock right now, which basically means his job is to protect his job is to basically protect you two. So you two do you. As long as you don't do anything to compromise your safety, he's good.
Anything else to compromise your safety?
Okie dokie. In that case, I would like someone to give me another d6.
D6, I got it. 4.
Wow, you guys are just completely safe on this journey.
Yeah, if we ended up with more predators, admittedly, we still have Dog, and his specialty is still dealing with, anything harmful, but as long as it's safe, he's happy.
So on that note, you don't run into any. You all take a moment to rest it. I guess I should have asked, do you all want to do anything this evening?
Not particularly.
Alright.
Dog is, he's setting up his little, setting up his perimeter around the vehicle.
Fire is going over her teach people how to make gliders. There's plans.
Yeah, he's basically setting up whatever equivalent of perimeter alarms we're able to get with the vehicle so that he knows if something's coming.
Alright.
Did you land somewhere for the night, or is it just like we continue flying and kind of trade off in shifts? Also, apologies, it just started raining very heavily, and I don't know if it can be heard on my
No, I can't hear anything.
Okay,
Me
because
either.
it's coming like right at my window, so if it's being heard, sorry for that.
Man, I'm starting to get a little rain myself because of what was snow. It's now gone from being very cold this morning to above freezing.
Well, I'm glad you got snow. I really want the snow to get here at some point. It's real lucky.
If we get snow, I want this kind of snow that just stops everybody from going outside.
Yeah, me too. I want it to be a good amount of snow. I need the airport to shut down.
I happen to be one of those guys that is the one who, when there's that much snow, I'm the one who's trusted to drive in bad weather.
Oh.
So, yep, me and and the thing is that most people don't think about this, but Priuses handle really well on slick roads.
Really?
Yep. They've got a very low center of mass. They actually weigh a lot, which helps get traction on the ice. They have as long as you're careful on the gas, they have fairly low torque starting up, so you're not likely to spin out. You just have to be careful when you're stopping, because that weight, all that mass that they have does want to keep going, but they don't roll. They're really safe in a collision unless you get hit by someone else in the side. And I also have good, all-weather tires on it, so.
Yeah,
That's cool.
And I also actually am experienced driving in bad weather, like driving in bad weather, because you know what? I'm usually the only one.
just be careful, because
Oh,
it's the last thing.
yeah,
you need.
That's the default.
I have experienced the cars that are not good driving in snow before, and it was the hilariousness of at least knowing the defensive driving when your wheels spin out, you just kind of parking brake and go turn in the other direction as fast as possible to balance out. It's just like,
I have a crumple. But the left side of my front fender is a bit crumpled because I had to dodge a pickup truck that decided that four-wheel drive meant four-wheel stop.
oh no.
Oof.
I dodged it, so I was going at very low speed. They were going at high speed, and I hit a little pylon instead of hitting them. So I just have a little bit of crumplage, and my headlight is held at the correct angle with duct tape. But otherwise, yeah, the car runs fine, and I came out in one piece. Admittedly, I'm out in mid-sized town immediately to rural. Once you're out in the rural, no problems whatsoever, because you're going in a straight line. The only thing you have to worry about is cows.
That's true.
And sometimes they sit in the middle of the road.
Yeah, but it's usually pretty easy to dodge them, and because of the way the ditches around here are built, you can just go into the ditch and then come back out of the ditch if you're not able to stop.
And speaking of things in the middle of the road, as you all continue, there is something else that catches your eye a little off to the side. It looks like there was a skirmish, but it also looks like it happened some time ago. Dirt has been churned. There are still some scattered equipment around, but it looks like someone or a group had already come through here before, because there is a large circle of weapons that have been planted in the ground, with a burned down pyre in the center.
You could have landed anywhere, and you chose to land near another traveling group.
Oh, there's nobody there.
I know, I'm just teasing. Of all the places you choose to land, this is where you land? No,
We're not technically flying, we're on a hover thing.
Point remains. It's okay. We should probably make sure there is nobody still around. It seems unwise to leave such a
equipment behind.
Celius, what's your people's? I'm not gonna say tradition because I don't think that's the right word. What do you people do when you come across a place where there's violence?
It depends on what their beliefs are, but looking at this, it looks like she kind of like tilts her head studying it. The weapons there are of Tassor make. They are ours. It is probably a grave.
Grave?
Mhm.
Okay.
It looks like there was a fight here, and looks like their weapons were left as a grave marker.
Mass grave. Okay. I understand. That is sad to hear. Can we look around and get more of an idea of what might have happened?
Yes. Go ahead and give me scrutiny. Whoever wants to give scrutiny.
Okay.
Screwed.
I'm curious. That's 2 for me.
That's 0 for me.
Alright.
Dog makes 2 as well.
Okay. Would anyone like to push?
I think I'm okay with 2.
All right.
I'm okay not understanding.
Okay. Fire, you don't understand.
My ignorance is bliss.
Dog, looking around and looking over the area of battle that this place did have. Whatever blood was here has long since dried up. This probably happened a while ago, and someone else probably came through and took to either burying or burning the dead. But as far as the battle goes, it looks like it was a victory for the defenders, but it also looks like it was costly. There are any armor or weapons are not just left scattered around, besides the ones that were planted into the ground. Dr. LaRusso, the weapons that were planted into the ground are done in 3 circles. Each one smaller, with the center having a small pyre that is mostly just scorched wood and ash at this point. It looks like there was some sort of tribute or memorial that may or may not have stem from some kind of spiritual connotation, but yes, this is a battlefield that was cleaned up. If there were any survivors or anything like that, they are gone now.
Well, we should not disturb this site. It seems sacred. I would not want to offend anyone by disturbing the site more than we already have.
All right, go around then.
All right. So you all continue on your way, and as you drive off, I would like to take a 5 to 10 minute break, and then we will continue.
Break
Okey-dokey.
time.
Yay!
Alrighty.
Bathroom
We'll
time.
be right back.
Be right.
Hello, people in chat. How's your Wednesday going? Mine is doing pretty well. Very excited to be back. And we should be back again tomorrow for more Burnwood Bay. Hopefully the day will be like tomorrow will be like today was, and not too bad. Welcome back.
Hello.
How's it going?
So far, so good. Found out my food isn't going to be delivered until almost 5:30, which is fine. But so I grabbed a little snack out of the fridge.
I'm gonna have hamburgers when they're done. Oh, yeah. That was a big yawn. Oh, did you finish War Pig?
No, I haven't. My energy for high-end plot has been low.
That's fair. Have you given Goon Squad a chance yet?
Goon Squad. Oh, I forgot to get. I forgot to goon to get to chat. I can't fucking talk. Could you link me that again?
It should still be your email.
Oh, right. Oh, god damn it! I forgot to. That was something else. I forgot to go and I'll go deal with that. I thought we were. I was mincing things in my head. God, I've had a.
It is the holiday season. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. I am absolutely ready to be done with the season. My grand ambition. I might
Grand impression.
I have forgotten what the hell I was gonna say. No, there will not be much achieved with my brain.
Your brain pants needs more pants.
My brain requires a reboot. And actually, I should probably put some tea on so that I have a relatively mild source of caffeine. Because I'm having that much trouble thinking at the moment.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Put your pants back on.
What's back on?
All right. I have my tea.
Tea acquired.
Yep.
What kind of tea is it?
Lady Grey.
I
Like-
have a fondness for honey.
Yeah, you cut it out.
Oh, I'll say that I have a fondness for honey mint tea.
Ah. My favorite, probably, at least my default is Earl Grey. I tend to go in for plantation mint as well, which is a spearmint tea.
Okay.
And then there's a wide variety of different just grades, blends, etc. of other kinds of tea. I'm a tea nut. I also do a lot of different herbal teas.
I like the caramel roasted, caramel roasted, some kind of nut. I forget, but that made really good tea.
Yeah.
I do like white teas though, very sweet.
So the Timmy's up here used to have a drink called a apple cinnamon fog, which was basically a London fog but made with apple cinnamon tea instead of the, I forget what kind of drizzle London fog has. It had
Earl
like a
Grey.
caramel sauce on it.
Earl Grey's the usual for a London fog.
Yeah.
I may be a tea nut. My pared down collection still takes up half a shelf in my pantry. I have been working on, like, I have not, other than the teas that I drink almost every day, I haven't bought new tea in like 2 years. Because I'm trying to work my way through what I have. I have so much tea.
So much tea.
It's nice. But also I have to get to it before it, it doesn't really expire so much as lose its potency.
Okay.
So it's like I finally finished my thistle tea, which I really liked, but it had gotten pretty weak by the end there. I had a large thing of it. The heather tea I went through really quick because I love its stronger earthy flavor. But it came in the set with the thistle tea, and the thistle tea also took a while.
So are we ready to continue?
I
My
am.
mouth is full.
I'm good to go.
I'm good.
Perhaps some cookies and milk for us. It's tasty.
Yeah, I made the mistake of stuffing a cookie in my mouth before I asked.
And suddenly I wish I had biscotti to go with my tea.
Worth it.
Scotty sounds really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever had biscotti.
Oh, they're delightful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a not quite a breadstick. It's the wrong kind of analogy, but it's like just a slab of sweet bread that you can dip in your tea or coffee.
It's a kind of sheet cookie.
Yeah.
Um,
And usually it has like hazelnut or chocolate.
It's to be biscotti, it has to be specifically almond.
Almond? Mm.
Yeah. If there's no almond, it's not.
It's some pretender.
It's one of the other of the many different things in the genre.
Mm-hmm. It's like not all sparkling wines are champagne. They have to be from the Champagne region.
Well,
Of course.
in this case, it's one where it's the. To be fair, the wine is as much is defined according to the French by the region it's from, but according to the rest of the world by the kind of grape and the growing conditions.
Mm.
Champagnes are generally exceptional, but everyone else. But in the case of biscotti, it's part of a whole family of cookies. They can be drizzled with chocolate. You can put all kinds of things on them, but one of the central thing is oh, no, I may be wrong and misremembering. Hold on, I am going to... Nope, it is specifically, to be biscotti, it is specifically an almond cookie. You can do all kinds of things to the almond cookie, but it's specifically an almond cookie.
Okay.
They're really great for dipping in tea or coffee, and they're relatively mild. They're not nearly as sweet as a lot of other cookies. They're delicate.
Yeah. And
nice.
the main takeaway is you dip them in your coffee or your tea, and it is just like a nice light little treat to go with it.
Yep.
Like a biscuit.
Do you want a biscuit? Oh God. Sorry, I'm full of weird references.
You still there, hun?
I'm still here.
We were ready to go.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay. Take us away, Dreamweaver.
Okay, we're still on the be right back screen.
I haven't started until you started.
Okay,
I've been waiting
welcome
on you.
back, everyone.
You're the
Welcome.
maestro, remember?
Welcome back, to our game of Change Stars. Record of Miq'to. So last we had left off, you all had departed the small riverside village to go get introduced to whoever's in charge of these lands.
A queen, if you will.
A queen, if you will. A monarch. A
monarch.
ruler.
Not a protractor.
Not a protractor. But along your way, your guide Celios has been doing her job of keeping you on a safer route and not getting caught up in anything too terribly dangerous. You had come across a organism, a macroorganism of some kind that is not particularly dangerous, as well as a mass gravesite in a place that appears that there was a bit of a skirmish. But after a couple days travel, you all start to notice a couple things. One, you see other traveling groups not far, many of which either hide or stare dumbfounded at the strange vehicle you have. But you see many are riding those long-necked creatures. Others are in anywhere along a river. There might be a raft of some kind, or even a cart that is being drawn. But there are groups of them cropping up more and more as you get closer to your destination. That being on that note, you notice that while it appears a bit more suddenly, because for the most part you all had been on relatively flat or hilly kind of plain land, but there are a series of large spires kind of jutting up from the ground that have a very steep angle. Within the spires, as you get closer, you notice that there is a lot of stonework and various colors that you can't quite figure out what it is until you draw close enough to see that they appear to be fabrics of some kind draped from building to building on the lower end of these spires. It is, while not massive mountains, there is a mountain range not far, but it looks like these smaller mountains here that have been pushed up from the ground from whatever very slow process of rock formation that these are, has been carved into, and buildings have been built into them. And at the very top of the largest spire here, it looks like much of it has been hollowed out, and you get the sense that a good portion of the city is probably underground as well. And at the top of the largest one, it looks like a massive well has been constructed. And from that well, water streams down and irrigates in a spiral down throughout the city. And forgive me for the simple painting that this is, but
First of all, your artwork is never simple. Don't discredit yourself.
Simple.
Ooh,
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. She's like, not to
Pretty.
flex on anything, but here we go.
Look, it isn't the you know, it's different. It's a very different style from what you see when I do things, but it's actually art as opposed to being basically just geographical locations viewed from top down. You know.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I had considered doing an over sketch on it too to make it really pop, but it more or less looks something like this. Now, do you want to? Sir Leos explains that there are two ways you can enter the city. There is a lower ring of the city that you could probably slip through, but you could try getting there quicker, though it may mean running into a more crowded area as well.
Are we trying not to be noticed? I feel like we would stand out regardless.
There is no world in which we would go unnoticed. We have already effectively announced that we are very out of the ordinary by our mode of transportation before people could even see us in it.
mhm.
We are correct. Quite extraordinary.
What would be the most proper way to go?
What will not cause issues amongst your people for us?
I do not think that. I think you are right. You are going to stand out, especially in this. I think we could either travel up the river or through the streets, as this thing has proven. If we go through the lower part of the streets, I do not think we will run into as crowded's not the right word, but if we go through the lower part, we would be able to take the river and go in a circle on the way up. It might be a little bit faster to go along that upper ledge there, but we would run into more people.
Probably best to
Ultimately,
take whichever route prevents the possibility of that run into being literal.
river then.
Right?
Sounds good.
Intrepid pilot.
So, you all begin to approach, and there is a series of red red flickers along along uh, along stone walls that had been carved out of the hills here that it just kind of bottlenecks the area. You see that there are some individuals who are scaling the sides of the walls via some of that same kind of fabric or stuff that they were using before, and they kind of climb up, and there are a number of you've seen some of them before. There are they're like the little wrist slings, or wrist bows that they have, that they've got projectiles set into, but there is a call from the top as this area is immediately closed off and distance is made from you. And one calls out, "Who approaches?" Cirlio stands. "Tasor Cirlios. My clan Seer has encountered strangers from the stars. We wish to speak to the queen." And there's a long pause before there is an answer. "Know that if anyone tries anything, the full might of my warriors will come down on you. Wait where you are." And there's a moment before you see a small group approaching. They come down and dive into the water, and they make their presence known by lighting their sails up very brightly red as they approach. And there is a skiff that they climb onto and make their way closer. "What kind of vessel is this, and who rides in it?"
Fire looks to the professor.
All right, Doc, this is your cue.
Bring just a little step forward and put on her best diplomatic face, and she says, "On behalf of the Trinity, I am Chief Scientist Rendis Rusio of a ship aforementioned name that I have forgotten. He is the player, not Rendis.
Yes, Kimatari.
Kimatari. Yes, that's right. It sounds awesome, and I always forget it. On behalf of the Kimatari, we are an exploratory and scientific research group. We are here on behalf of one of the villages we have made contact with. We wish to engage in diplomatic negotiations with the Queen on their behalf and on behalf of the Kimatari. I have brought with me a security retinue, as well as my pilot, as well as a translator from the village.
There is a pause. They are looking, of course, very strangely at you. "There were rumors of something when someone came to speak of strangers. We did not believe them."
Strange. There's nothing strange about me. And she kind of like
It's just Dog's eyebrow just shoots straight up.
you say there's nothing strange about me, and she kind of like tilts her head, and while the translation doesn't, it more or less
she is being purposely cheeky
Yeah.
and flexing on her linguistics of having some idea how this language works. So
Yeah.
it is purposely meant to throw this advisor guard captain for a loop, because she's fucking with her but not trying to cause an incident.
Yeah, and it does. There's a moment where she's like, "You are not Miq'to." Looking a bit confused, but quickly recovers herself and says, "We will lead you in, but cause no trouble here."
We only require peace.
Oh,
I think we have the okay to go inside.
And
Good job.
there's a moment where they kind of gesture and for you all to follow, and their skiff doesn't have automated propulsion, so the gate kind of blocking the river off is slowly pulled open, and they go through, and you're able to follow easily. You notice there are a series of red floaties aren't the right word, but little floating balls are extended from either side that kind of spread out in the wake of their skiff, and you notice ahead that there are any other Miq'to or any vessel that is ahead of them is quickly moving out of the way. It does take a little bit of time before you reach the base of the tallest spire. But as you are sailing through, you get a better look at what it's like on the inside here. Further out, there are many structures that seem to be waterproofed in some way, and as you go under, as you're moving up this river, there are a number of various colored sheets draping from one building to the other that go overhead. The sunlight shining through them makes it very colorful and kind of pretty, while also feeling kind of sheltered. Not too bright, not too dark, and various colors kind of catching depending on what kind of fabric is draped across. There are the buildings themselves are designed to be, many are designed to be multi-level, with ways to climb up and down them. As you are moving through, more and more are catching, you are catching more and more strange looks as you move through. Once you get to a certain point, their skiff is brought off to the side, and you are at a place where you can disembark, and there are a number of armored guards who are waiting to escort you inside a building that looks like it's connected to the mountain.
It's a really pretty place, but did you guys just get kind of really nervous now?
Only slightly. I believe that we are not in any true danger, but I trust Dog will know the moment we cause a faux pas and will need to make a hasty exit.
I'm not
Yeah.
especially worried right now.
We should be alright.
It just kind of feels like I'm going to talk to my first captain again. It's just kind of like the grand person, just like she tries to motion to like as if that can actually get their point across, but not quite.
I intend to follow the same thing that I do when a general is in the room. Stand at attention, wait until addressed to speak.
That sounds smart. Yes. Okay. Smooths down their uniform. I am good to go.
It occurs to me I need to give this captain a name. What's the name for her?
Captain.
Captain.
Caputine. Clearly, I'm not the one to do that.
Yeah.
Disqualified.
Your dog is,
Captain McCapterton.
Dog's understanding of etiquette is mostly stand at attention, answer questions.
Speak when spoken to, and never before.
Unless you hear artillery incoming, in which point you shout that and dive for the nearest cover.
Yes, absolutely.
The list of exceptions to the never before is very long, but very weirdly, like, incredibly specific. It's just very long.
You'll know. And usually no one will blame you for it. It's like, oh, yeah, that's when? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be the
Alright.
ones that make perfect sense. You know, it's like, speak when spoken to. Did you just see scope glint? Yell sniper, hit the deck. Incoming artillery, mortar, grenades. Things that go bang, incoming fire.
RPG.
Fire. Anything that is on fire generally is worth remarking on.
Sir,
At least if it's
on
if
fire.
it's not supposed to... Yes. If it's not supposed to be on fire, you should remark on it. If it's supposed to be on fire and it's not on fire, you should remark on it. Basically, if its state of fire and if its state of whether or not it should be on fire does not match the state of whether or not it is on fire, remark on it. It's this whole string of logic gates that it's if this then if should be on fire and is not on fire, say something. If should be on fire and is on fire, do not say something.
Alright, I tried working in the captain name. It's not doing it for me. Anybody else?
Co?
Sorry?
Well, that sounds accurate.
Co?
Well, that sounds accurate to the
Check
names
that
and
out.
my trouble pronouncing them.
So you just type that out.
Yeah.
Person McPersonton.
I've noticed that the higher in status someone is so far, it seems like the fewer
Loose root.
syllables they get, the higher status they are.
I like loose Ruko. Loose Ruda.
Do 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 do.
And that's all we get before copyright.
We get you in no small part because those couple of bars are actually pre-existed by so long that they're actually they're public domain. It's once you have the part that comes after.
Mm-hmm. You start getting those throaty opera notes in there.
Mhm. Yeah, once you start getting into the dragon speech, you definitely yeah.
You don't want to go that route.
Yup. We can Fusroda all we want, but we cannot do the whole song. I have a whole list of songs so old that they've been public domain since before the distinction of copyright existed. Well, actually, I mean, copyright did exist, but not in the way it does in modern sense.
Alright.
Half of them are drinking songs and horribly inappropriate.
Those are the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you are discussing this, the one who had initially spoken to you, you see her say something to another one of her guards, who immediately runs off ahead of them, and she turns to your vessel after disembarking her own and says, You will have to leave your skiff here. There is no way to travel the entire length up with it.
Oh, that is fine. I trust nobody will get too curious and try to make off with it here under your watch.
They have orders not to. They will, however, hold it, and if you are going to show any hostile attempt, make any hostile attempt, you will not reach it.
She just kind of looks at BR like they could stop us.
Yeah, she doesn't know that.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to leave the baby now.
Dog's not going to say anything. He's just...
The autopilot kicks in if we need a hasty retreat. Yeah, really,
I'm sure we
really
have
freak
Bojack on
them
it
out.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say really freak them out by putting the alarm on.
just press the panic button.
It's alive and it's screaming! Kill it!
What are your instructions? Keep BR safe. Keep BR safe.
You come back and there's just like arrows and dents and scratches on it.
We did not know what this demon was.
They were trying to figure. It's one of those where it's like, it is just gonna be. It's the paint would be scratched to hell, but for the most part, it would be largely intact because while these people that they're Iron Age, they're definitely fairly advanced. They are not Space Age Alloy Age.
Mm-mm.
I doubt they're gonna be able to scratch something that's largely tungsten, probably.
Oh yeah, a lot of their stuff would break.
Yeah, and it's just a poke. What the hell is this made of? Space metal, alright? I don't know how to explain it better. It's space metal.
Fire sees a little stretch as hell. Well, I now live on this planet because if I go back on the ship, Stella will kill me.
I live here now.
Uh,
and that is why the stereo's maximum volume has been set to 3. And dog's music choices are not allowed to be played.
This box is whispering. There's something inside it. Little person!
We must free the tiny man.
Yes. But she does start leading you into the mountain itself. And while initially you expect it to be dark, they do have some form of lighting. There are a series of bioluminescent bulbs that look like they're placed at regular intervals. They are purposely placed, and you get the sense that they have specific people that are strictly there to ensure that they continue to thrive for this light. Especially since you see one quickly get out of the way uh, from from handling these things. But inside, there are spaces that expand outward, and as you continue to walk, there's an even wider space where there are angles, slopes, and drops that have various notches and stuff for climbing and descending, and there are even places where it seems like they have very rudimentary machines. Nothing technologically advanced by any means, but the kinds of things that humans would have had in their Iron Age. There is what you can probably guess to be a very simplified version of a pump, where pressure is pushed down probably to make sure water moves upwards. And having seen the massive well that they had constructed, it is probably to continue to supply that and ensure water cycles properly. There's also a space you pass where it looks like it is probably there for some kind of commercial use, perhaps, or food, or various distribution. But you are led down a large hall, which then circles up where, and before too long, you come out in an area further up, and you would find yourselves on the layer below a large waterfall, and continuing up that slope, you see a large entrance that enters the highest point of the mountain here. And give me just a second.
Ooh, pretty.
It's real pretty for the gritty.
Oh, very nice.
Inside this large chamber, after you go under a series of what looks like purposely carved stone with climbing vines. It looks like the kind of place that more or less like a courtyard. But inside, there are thick stone pillars that lead upward with various ledges carved into them. There are a large number of individuals that appear to be in some sort of audience. In the water itself, there are groups swimming around, and you see colors flickering before ahead of you. You do hear like various discussions and stuff, but that all comes to a stop when you all enter, and the guard who had been speaking with you, Usruko, steps forward and waits for a moment. She does tap her spear a moment before another guard further up, their sails flicker with the same color that hers flickered when she tapped, and that signal and they flicker the same series: purple, blue, yellow, purple again. Or not, I'm sorry, not yellow. Why did I say yellow? Red. Yes, let me check. Red, yes, thank you. Yep. Purple, blue, red, purple. And that same series flickers down the line. The ones on the hanging on the pillars here, as if to send a signal before they reach the back. There are a group of people further back who, one in the center says something too far at this distance to hear, and her sail responds, and that same signal is sent back, and everyone goes quiet, and all the ones in the water here begin to disperse or swim back off to the side. And once that signal returns, Usruko spins and says, "She will speak to you now. Say what you have to say." And she steps aside, and there is a raft here available, and a figure swims up. Two figures swim up and clutch the sides of them. And Cirios looks back and says, "Hopefully this goes well, and we will get more to protect my village."
I hope so. I do not want this to be for naught.
Here's hoping.
She starts to step forward and climbs aboard.
Fire's gonna fall behind.
Rendis will stay close to the others.
Dog's in his standard issue spot, to the right and a half step behind.
I would also say that they probably had asked what would be like the greeting protocol for this queen ahead of time, like any good diplomat would. And,
Yeah, I would have.
What do we say? How do we show reverence? What kind of bow? How many degrees do we turn?
Don't go up there, say sup, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would have I meant to mention this before, but it did slip my mind. That village, you would have noticed, appears to be, and I think I mentioned it already. The one you came from appeared to be like producing like various textiles and stuff. So they have, they're bringing a gift, and yes, there is meant to be a bow. Just it it doesn't have to be a specific way. They don't want you to break eye contact, and or they don't want you to break eye contact when you bow. So no like full prostrating, but. And a lot of that probably has to do with being able to read the sails, the colors that they use to communicate with. But if you all like, you can say if you wanted to bring a gift or not. It doesn't have to be, it will be explained that the gift doesn't have to be elaborate or anything. It's just something to show.
You show up with something to
Yes.
show that there's a level of respect put into the meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Rindus would have made sure there was something in.
Dog has an idea
Ooh,
for an
tell.
appropriate gift. That
I
is
offer
both-
you this male. He is virile.
That you could probably guess is a gift you can give.
That would also probably piss Dog off because he is not a gift.
First of all, dog is a treasure.
um,
Dog is the gift.
but
Yeah, no.
his idea would
that's a
be
joke.
a knife, one of our knives from
Oh, yeah.
space.
Mhm.
Which, by these people's standards, it'll be generations before anything they use it for dulls it.
That's true. This relic
And it will
from
be
the
made
stars.
it will be made to a standard that is physically impossible for their tools to achieve. And it is something that I'm almost certain we're allowed to give because while the materials are way above their tech level, the thing itself is not.
Yeah, we wouldn't be breaking Prime Directive with a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first thought was food, but it's like strangers giving someone food is a very important person to be kind of.
I demand more chocolate. Make chocolate.
You wanted to introduce them to space food?
I mean, protein.
We
red
might want to
protein
wait
cube.
until we know
Yeah, we're
more.
gonna wait for that.
Everyone
about
loves
their-
red protein cube.
Yeah, you can you can actually guess that they are a high protein diet based on the type of teeth they have.
Mhm. So yes, what is it? All right, a
I like
a
the
knife and a
idea.
military issue chocolate bar.
I think the knife will suffice. That the point is valid that it won't disrupt anything too much other than being this strange relic that none of them can replicate.
Yeah, it's a very fine gift that is profoundly ordinary for us.
Yeah.
And you all step onto the little raft, I assume.
Yep.
Mhm.
Raft us up, baby.
All right. Boop, boop, boop. And the two at the side begin to push this raft forward that you all stand on until it reaches the stairs here. And Serlio steps forward with her gift from her village, the fine silks that they produce. The guard takes that, if you were to present your gift as well, one of the guards takes that up and it is passed on. And here you see there are currently 3 individuals besides the guards themselves standing atop there. There is one appears to be a younger woman who stares with a certain level of distrust. She stares. She's watching close.
You're push to talk, baby.
Oh, sorry. She stares curiously but cautiously, and you see that her hand is set on is set on a blade of some kind at the side of her chair, and then on the other side of the throne there is a male that looks like they are just hitting their adult age, and they are standing further back and are just watching curiously, with a little more curiosity and less fear is not the right word, but less
Worry?
caution?
Caution?
Less caution, yeah.
Concern, worry.
More curiosity, less concern.
Yeah, he's staring from like around the chair, but he also knows that he probably shouldn't be stepping any further than the woman sitting in the throne would allow. And she stands up as she accepts these gifts. There are a number of scars on her face. One of her ears is notched. There's a number of jewelry that is hanging from her. Some that clip to that ridge on their on the center of the face for their sails. But she stands and accepts these gifts, and looks over the knife, feels the silks, gives a nod, hands them off to the woman next to her, who gives a response in a series of colors and steps back briefly to tuck them away, as the one on the throne moves and steps forward a little bit and says, "You have earned an audience. I ask why you are here." And as she does this, Cirlios does give a bow. She does not lower her head. She keeps eye contact, and her sail turns. Her sail retracts like completely. And when she rises again, her sail extends again, and she gives a response. "I am Tasor Cirlios. My village, my clan Sor, is in need of more protection. The Shivoks have begun to make an appearance, and we have been attacked." And as she says this, she gestures to the tears in her sail. "I was rescued by strangers from the stars, and I am humbly requesting that some of your own warriors be sent to protect us. as your subjects. And she says this in a manner of basically saying, while these strangers have helped us,
Do your job and save us.
yes. And she responds and says, "You say they have moved further inland. I will dispatch a group, but I would speak to these strangers." And she gives another bow and steps back and allows the rest of you.
Brindis will step forward. She will bow while keeping her head pointed in such a direction that she does not break eye contact. And she says, "What she says is true. We had come merely on a mission of observation and study, and what we ended up finding was these people were under attack from raiders. We have intervened only insofar as to do what is right to help them against aggressors. But it is not our place to fight these battles for them, and it is good to hear that you are devoted to your people in wanting to make sure they stay safe. We are here to establish further contact and maintain peaceful relations with your people for the duration of our visit, and I would continue to ask for your permission to stay here and visit for the time being, because this is your land after all. I don't have anything else. She probably does pause appropriately there.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a communicate, I think.
Alrighty, give me just 1 second.
Get your perk bonus thingy.
Yeah, because I am talking to one person directly.
We want them to like us.
I really
do.
do. It's kind of important. Okay. That was a plus 3 plus 3. Communicate modifier. Hey, all of 1 success. I will push.
Okay.
Wow.
I think you can push again because you didn't get a thing. Or can you only push once?
I think you can only push once.
Okay. Alright. In that case...
You can only push once because there's a special talent in that I... maybe I'm mincing my systems. Because it's that special talent that lets you push twice might be an alien rather than on this.
Oh, I know you can't push if you got a thing in the
Well, I tell you what, dealer's choice.
I'll allow it.
Okie day. Well,
But you have to mark another edge.
that's fine. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. All right. Communicate 3. Submit. There it is. Wow,
that
is
D6.
just not worth it at all.
Oh no, we got 2 successes and
I scream at the queen.
I
I
think
know
that's what happens.
I know that's just the bit, but I'm gonna just continue to write it because it's hilarious.
I think that is actually 6. As you scream at the queen.
We are so
no.
grateful for your attention.
No, I think this is more. I think this is more. You all are just a bit nervous, not for your lives per se, but for this to go well.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to screw this up, and it can't control the
Yep.
volume of my voice.
So everyone gets an edge.
Everyone gets an edge.
Oh dear.
Welcome.
Yep. And
We can see the doctor sweating.
Not gonna lie, I'm
Oh,
just
no,
picturing
she's
the doctor
hot.
squeaking occasionally.
Yeah. She's a very, she's a
Thank
very
God
mousy
between-
woman by nature, so.
Thank God they don't know that our species doesn't do that naturally yet.
Right? They haven't figured it out. It's all part of the plan.
Yes, we are weird and from space. They don't know much about us yet. That is helpful.
what do you want to spend that bonus on?
What are my options? I don't have the thingy open at the
I'm
moment.
trying to find it. I still haven't learned to navigate this book completely yet.
Yeah, and my download of it's on the other computer, and I haven't moved it over.
Mine is. I thought I had it right here. Is it still on my desktop? It is not. You know, the smart thing would have been put it somewhere where I could reach it.
Yeah, my load.
There it is. I found mine. Okay. Skill test, skill test, skill test. Tests and rolls. Oh, thank God, this moves so much faster than the old one.
Right? PDF so much better than Google Doc for finding things.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Combat
There we are.
style.
Twists.
Oh, did you find it before I did? Because
Here we go. Twists. A +1 modifier for a future test of same or related nature. Give a success to another creature attempting the same test. Gain additional information at the Dreamweaver's discretion. Look good doing it. Complete the task faster. Conduct the
nope,
task.
that's all I needed to hear. I want to look good while doing it.
Okay.
It's exactly as Doug said. They don't know us. We're from space. This could be totally normal. Yeah, I just have her convinced that this was all on purpose.
The squeak.
Okay.
Oh no! Generations of future diplomats are going to have to squeak when emphasizing points.
Perfect. Just as planned.
And then eventually someone lets it slip that is in fact not the standard operating procedure. And everyone's like, wait a minute, how the hell did this get established?
History will remember this as the greatest diplomatic blunder that worked in our favor.
It's just the that one Rick and Morty episode where they keep going into the micro dimension and they're like, I told them that this means peace and love.
Yeah, exactly.
Flips them off.
Yeah.
Yep, the universal greeting. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck
But,
you, have a nice day.
But no, you do this, and there is that moment of tension where you're explaining this, and she is silent for a moment. But she listens, and she does not take her eyes off you. You are a strange creature to her. But she says, after a moment, she says, when a courier came to tell me that there were people from the stars who had manes instead of sails, and males who fought. I put it off as a bad joke, but I see I was wrong. I have much I have to deal with, but if you are here to manage a peaceful relationship with my people, and you are here to help my people, then and you bring me metal that is so pure, I cannot see any grain in it. I would allow you to stay here. Just be aware that I am currently waging a defensive war and dealing with demons from another side. I am fighting two fronts at the moment.
Dog, on hearing the demons, one looks over at Dr. Indus is like, that might actually fall under our purview.
It might be true. If you would like to inquire about it more, we could offer assistance.
You, Star Children, I would hear more of where you are from, but not here. We will speak more in private, but so long as you are here, I am the queen of these lands. You may call me Tamya Ralta. This is my eldest living daughter, Tamya Srata, and this is one of, and she says this with a lot of pride, this is one of 3 sons I have. Tamya Yomoy.
It is an honor to meet all of you. And she says, I am called Rindisla Rusio. And she'll gesture to the other 2 because, while I guess she's in charge right now, it's still very rude of her to introduce the others when they can speak.
I am Bayer Thul.
Douglas Crowley.
Well, you are welcome here, so long as you do not cause any trouble. I invite you to stay and feast with us, get to know my people, and I would inquire more about you. And she gives another gesture, says something to one of the warriors beside her, and they give a nod, and a flicker is exchanged, and you see that series of lights run down the line again to the guard leader of that you had originally spoke to, who receives the message. But it looks like they are going to let you stay here. And there is a moment of acceptance before she gives the signal that at least this particular meeting is over, and she intends to speak more with you later. But it looks like she's already starting to organize a few things. She has to get a retinue of guards out to this other village. She has to deal with some other things as well. And you see her speaking quickly with the group around her immediate area to get things done. But it seems that you all are dismissed for now. And once the raft is brought back, the captain, for lack of a better word, the captain of the guard, is willing to escort you to a more favorable location. But when you approach her, she asks, "Are there any special needs for your..." And she pauses, not sure what to call you exactly. Because you're very obviously not exactly Miq'to.
Douglas and I are what is called human. Is a threat.
Is there any special needs for you?
What a dangerous question to give to Rindis.
Oh no.
Well, let's hear it.
She says, well, if we are going to be feasting, I would say that each of us would require a bath and proper attire, so not to offend your queen, if that is not too much trouble.
This is acceptable. Follow me. And she will lead you off. I will. And as she does, I feel like we're going to call it here for now. The camera will fade back, and we'll see a location in a very heavily wooded area. But as the camera starts to zoom in overhead, there is what looks like a trail of vegetation that has been quickly carved out by a very heated falling item. And as it zooms in, we see one of these escape pods from the vessel that had previously attacked you. And it also appears that it has opened, and there is the sound of several gunshots going off, and we see the light kind of lighting up behind the trees as someone comes running back, sweating. But as they start to turn and climb back into the escape pod for some kind of protection, there's something that snatches them and drags them back. And then there's just a shout and a scream, and we just see the silhouette of something reaching out from every direction as they just scream in terror. Just little lengths of something. And that's what we're gonna call it.
Yep, definitely not terrifying.
Yeah, totally cool. No issues whatsoever.
No issues whatsoever. Everyone's fine.
depending on what the hell this is, there could be a very real possibility of dog going. We might need to request
Orbital
flamethrower.
strike.
Yeah.
The planet was a loss.
The next
Just
time
clear it
that
enough.
the next time that dogs and the pirates, they're like, wait a minute, you actually want incendiary grenades? Yes.
Yep.
What the hell are you going to use them on? Don't go to the planet.
Planet's haunted.
What are you going to use it on? Ghosts. Ghosts? Ghosts.
Goes.
Nothing like thermite for ghosts.
Yeah. Can't have remains if there's nothing to remain.
It doesn't get back up if you've incinerated it.
Alrighty, well, it sounds like that's the end for today. Hopefully, we will have our game tomorrow, but it sounds like nothing is interfering with that. So, if you want to see Dougler running a game with Shay, I, and one other, in a wonderful game called Brindlewood Bay, where we are solving murder mysteries as old ladies, then you can check us out this same time tomorrow, more or less. The schedule got adjusted, so it'll be a little earlier than it used to be. But yeah, we gotta get used to that because we haven't started it yet. But check us out tomorrow. Announcements will be on Twitter and on Discord and all that other wonderful stuff. And for those of you who are watching today, you are wonderful. We love you, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
We're going to raid because there are enough people here. I want to go.
Yay.
Yay.
While I'm still waiting for the no pixel whitelist, we're going to raid Madame Gandalf because she is over there on GTA Roleplay. But for now, have a great night, everybody.